Good morning. Myself, Ranjana Arya, Faculty of School of Biotechnology, along with my colleague Dr. Amit Mishra from School of Environmental Sciences, representing R&D office today in the capacity of coordinators for research news and communication in JNU. As a first editorial for Research newsletter, today we have our Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, to share his views about research and development in JNU. We heartily welcome you and thank you, sir, for giving your consent towards first editorial in R&D e-newsletter. We would like to have a lot of burning questions to discuss with you, and we would like to know your views about research and development in JNU. So we know you have been a very active researcher and a teacher in IIT Delhi. So before joining JNU as a Vice Chancellor, you had been very active researcher looking at your publications in the field of electrical engineering and nanosciences. So please tell us about your research that was done at IIT Delhi.
First of all, I would like to thank you for giving this opportunity to have this brief discussion. If you want to be a good teacher, you also have to be a good researcher, and that is what motivates me to focus both on teaching as well as research. The advantage of doing cutting-edge research is that when you go to the classroom to discuss with the students, as part of your teaching, you can introduce some of these novel ideas that you are working on to the students. And often I found that the students get excited and they get motivated. And when they ask some questions, often I found that those questions lead to further good research. So therefore you can see that good teaching feeds good research, and good research feeds good teaching. And I work in the area of nanoelectronics. I focus on designing device architectures for realizing low power integrated circuits. And I have been very lucky to have good and motivated students. And most of the work that I have been doing and publishing is primarily because of the hard work put by my students.
So do you see any changes when you came up with some research ideas that was instigated and when you discussed in the class? Do you remember any incidents that really was very burning and you really liked some of the...
Yes, I remember. In nanoscale devices, fringe capacitance is a serious problem. But we know that from everyday experience, when you get into a lift which has metal walls all around, the mobile signal goes down. Right. You won't be able to speak. Right. So when one of the students asked a question about this problem, then we had a long discussion in the class itself. Okay. And we found that, well, why not we use this real life experience? Yeah. And then design a nanoscale device where these fringe field effects can be minimized. And in fact, we used the same idea, and we covered the gate region of a nanoscale MOSFET with a metal shield, and we found that the fringe field can be minimized. Wow. So sometimes taking our real life experiences to practical utilization is also very interesting. The experiences in one area could be useful in another area. For example, if I am working in electrical engineering, if both of us have some discussions about the problems on which I am working, perhaps some of those leads can be used in your research, although you are working in biology. And the same is true for me also. A discussion with you may enrich my research. Therefore, it is important that in the classroom, in addition to teaching, we need to have dialogues, critical dialogues with the students. And especially if the discussions are spanning across the areas of research, that can bring in newer awareness, and that can help us in doing good research.
I'm thinking. So do you still get time to go back to IIT and do research? We know you have been very active in doing risk classes in the morning, teaching, and you are still publishing a lot. So, how do you balance and manage between your administrative and academic duties?
Well, I still teach in
Yeah.
IIT, one full course, and on Saturdays and Sundays I sit with my PhD students. It's all because of the geographical advantage that we have. JNU and IIT Delhi are separated by just a road, and it's only a few minutes of walk across the campuses. Uh, so on Saturday and Sunday, I go and visit IIT and I sit with my students. Mm, when it comes to managing your time across different kinds of activities, it is important that we do it parallelly, several activities. I remember one day I was taking my cycle out of the cycle stand at IIT Delhi, and I met one young faculty, and he said, "Sir, in another 2 months, the summer vacation is going to come, and then I will complete writing my research paper." Then I told him, "So you should never wait for a good mood to write your research paper. Every day keep writing a little bit, so that by the time summer comes, perhaps you would have completed your research paper." So for me, what has worked is I do little of each activity that I am involved in. So I don't do things sequentially. So what happens is, if you do sequentially, if you get stuck in one activity and the other things are piling up, and that can lead to stress, and that may actually demoralize you. Whereas if you spend little time in each activity and everything is moving forward, so you'll be motivated to complete. And that is how I manage my time.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for your motivation and inspiration. Uh, how do you think we can improve the quality and excellence as far as research and academics is concerned in the university? So, what are your plans, or how do you augment research facilities in the campus?
Well, when we say how do we improve the good research, first of all, we need to understand what is good research, right? I see it in two ways. One, you generate knowledge for the sake of generating knowledge, which is valued by peers in your area. But then there is also another aspect where you generate knowledge so that it can be used effectively to find solutions to the challenges that we face as human societies. Because researchers are of different kinds, it is better that we leave it to the choice of the researchers to choose what they want to do. But however, in today's circumstances, it has become very, very necessary for us to see that our research is put to good use. So therefore, in JNU, what we are trying to do is motivate our research faculty members to get funding from outside sponsoring agencies and do research so that this basic research can be converted into a prototype, and then that prototype can then be used by an industry to produce a product so that it is useful to the society. I think we need to complete this cycle from basic research to its utilization by the society. But here there are two actors involved. One is the teacher, the mentor, and two, the student. So it is important that when you select the students, you select the right kind of students who have that motivation and aptitude for doing research. As I said, each individual is different. Not everybody is made to do research. Not everybody is made, to do certain tasks. So when we select the students, it's important to identify that spark in the student and then select. And two, as far as the mentoring is concerned, I think we need to be internally motivated to do something new always. We need to be curious about the work that we are doing, and unless we have this internal motivation, it is very, very difficult for any external force to force the students and also the faculty to do outstanding research. We need to be internally motivated. But the administration also plays a significant role here to create an ecosystem where both the faculty members and students feel motivated to do outstanding research. So in that context, recently we have formed a research and development office This office is trying to simplify the administrative procedures so that our researchers, both teachers and students, can spend more time in doing their research rather than chasing the files. And we are also providing the motivation and awareness to our younger faculty especially to apply for sponsored research funds.
So actually, sir, you have already covered my next question. Basically, that is what are the ways which the third pillar, like the administration, can facilitate our research activity in the university.
Right.
And my next question is, how should JNU respond to challenges posed by basically the research funding agencies nowadays? Any suggestion for independent funding or resource generation for faculty members in the campus?
Well, this is an important question for any university. How do you raise the internal resources? One, of course, is the government funding agencies that we have, DST, DBT, CSR, and so on. But time has come for us to also approach industry. There are many industries who would be interested in funding good research in the universities. But however, we cannot remain in ivory towers and expect somebody to come and fund us. We need to go out, we need to present to them and tell us what is the kind of expertise we have, and we need to motivate them so that they join hands with us. You see, if industry has to fund us, they also have to understand the kind of benefits they derive by collaborating with us. And it is our responsibility to tell them how our expertise can further their interests also, because it has to be a win-win situation, right? So industry is something that JNU is now looking at as an alternative source for funding our research.
Thank you very much. Sir, my next question is like, what is your view about the faculty development, especially related to teaching in our campus?
You know, teaching is an important activity that a faculty member undertakes. But what I have observed is that when a new faculty joins in a university, we have actually failed in providing good mentorship to the faculty members. We expect that a faculty member will somehow become a great teacher, but that's not possible. The senior faculty need to mentor them in various ways of interacting with the students, motivating the students, and how do you create an atmosphere where the students will become good learners. So we have a Human Resource Development Center where we have taken up several programs to mentor the teachers. Recently, UGC has also made it mandatory for all new faculty who join in a higher educational institute to go through a mentorship program. So we are in the process of designing such a program. UGC also has given a framework on what should be given as part of this mentorship program to the new faculty. I think we need to focus on this very seriously.
So what contribution do you think JNU need to make in order to promote the trend for innovation, utilizing science and technology for society and enriching people's life?
Well, in the last couple of years, JNU has put enormous efforts in creating an ecosystem where the innovations done by our faculty and students are encouraged. And we are also in the process of encouraging our faculty and students to begin startup companies. So the university is very seriously looking into it. We have recently revised our IPR policy also, and we are in the process of registering a Section 8 company to facilitate these kind of activities. It has two advantages. One, of course, is that our basic research will ultimately turn out to be something useful to the society. And two, it will provide an opportunity for our students also to have hands-on experience in how basic research can actually be converted into some application-oriented research. And if we have startup companies on our campus itself for a couple of years before they take off and establish themselves, they can act as places where our students can work with the innovators and learn the tricks of innovating. So therefore, having startup companies on the campus where young innovators are innovating, working on new ideas, I think it will be a win-win situation both for the faculty and the students on the campus.
So in this, I have one question like the introduction of the professional courses in general. Like, what is your vision about the introduction of the professional courses in general?
So,
Or in general in any institution basically?
right. If you are referring to the establishment of School of Engineering and School of Management and Entrepreneurship, you see JNU is well known for its research contributions in sciences and also social sciences. In sciences, we have been focusing for too long on basic research, and it is very, very good. It is well recognized across the world. But then, should we stop only doing basic research? Can we take it further? And that is where applied research comes into our focus. And School of Engineering is precisely established to make sure that there is collaboration between School of Engineering and the science schools, so that basic research is converted into applied research. But then you also require the skills to establish companies and industries, and that is where you require management and entrepreneurship. So with the establishment of School of Engineering and School of Management and Entrepreneurship, you see that the complete cycle is over. You have basic sciences, you have social scientists who analyze how this technology is impacting the society, and then you have the engineering divisions and the School of Management and Entrepreneurship who can work together and make JNU a university which is multidimensional. For too long, we have remained, I think, focused only in a few aspects of this entire gamut of science and technology.
Well, this is kind of part of answer that we were looking for in the next question. That is how you are going to build the success of JNU in this. We are celebrating Golden Jubilee for JNU. So how do you build that?
You see, Golden Jubilee is just a milestone.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go ahead. And it is not enough to pat ourselves and say we are a good university. We need to look ahead down the line after 10 years, where will we stand? Even in the higher education area, there is a huge competition now. Huge competition for securing funding, huge competition for getting best faculty and best students. And that is possible only if we brainstorm on creating a vision for our university and work together. And that is what we have been doing in the last 2-3 years. We have brought several reforms in the functioning of the university, both in the academic research and teaching, and also in the administrative procedures. So this is a work in progress always, and then we can realize the vision of the university only if we work collectively. So that is what we are doing in the university. JNU, of course, is well known for a culture of openness, where we discuss and debate on various issues. We would like to continue this culture. After all, as a researcher, our primary objective is to question. Only when you question, when you are trying to find answers to those questions, you create new knowledge. And we are in the process of creating new knowledge. Therefore, we would like to preserve that intrinsic nature of this university of questioning, of debating and discussing.
So thank you very much for your intriguing thoughts on it. And what do you propose as a last minute message to our students, to our faculties, where we are proposing JNU as a go forward research institution for next decade or so?
Right. You see, our students are the pillars of this university. We of course remain mentors, but ultimately it is our students. It is important to make them realize that they should never underestimate themselves. They have enormous potential. So as mentors, it is our responsibility to make them understand that they have enormous potential. And our job is to make sure that that potential is put to good use so that innovative research can be done, new knowledge can be created. And there is no alternative, no substitute for hard work. You need to be creative, but in order to put that creative thinking for better use, you need to work hard. So therefore, creativity and hard work, they go together. And let us resolve that as teachers, we will strive to create that ecosystem where our students will become outstanding innovators and committed scientists to do something useful for the society.
Well, thank you very much, sir. And I think this is a real beginning, and we have provided a very good platform for our R&D office and the e-newsletter, and we'll have many more sessions to come forward. And this will be very, very useful for our whole academic community in the university.
I wish you all the best. And thank you again for giving me this opportunity to have this brief discussion with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.